I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery, and this video I'm going to be talking about the fear of failure and what you can do about it. Now, one of the most common themes that I hear about through the email and the comments among people who are trying to quit for the first time, especially in the first few days, the early days of the quit, is the fear of failure. So I thought I'd make a video about just some of the things that you should know about failing. Number one is failing can make you doubt your abilities to quit. Now, if you're going through the process of quitting alcohol and you have a slip and you take a drink, sometimes that can seem like you're just right back where you started from, that you've just wasted all that time, wasted all that energy. Much more damaging are the negative thoughts about your abilities to get through this process. Now, this type of failure can lead to you questioning yourself, questioning other areas in your life, other abilities that you've got, like your willpower, your strength, and some people even start to question their own intelligence. Now, as in most things in life, knowledge about these doubts can really help you to see things from a more realistic viewpoint. Can see things from the way they are. One failure, or 10 failures for that matter, doesn't say anything about your abilities to succeed in this new journey. All it does is it means that you just haven't got there yet. Second thing is that failing can increase your feelings of helplessness. Now, failure can be pretty wounding to the ego, to the pride, self-respect. Your pride and confidence can take a big hit, in fact. You might even feel helpless in the face of something which is just bigger than you, believing all that bullshit about being an alcoholic for the rest of your life. Having to go to meetings for the rest of your life, you don't think you can do it on your own. It might seem easier just to giving up, than to keep trying and failing and feeling like you've been harmed by the whole experience. Now, the thing is, don't listen to these failings. Now, this is not your alcohol talking. It's not the alcohol voice inside your head. It's your natural defense system trying to prevent you from being harmed. Fortunately, you can easily overcome these feelings by just ignoring them, by looking for the positives in every situation, by learning from what you've just done, and by getting up off your arse and getting right back into the journey. Now, the third thing is that failure can begin to make you subconsciously begin to fear future failure. If you follow all the advice that is on Alcohol Mastery throughout the videos and the posts, you'll get yourself very organized before you start this journey, and you'll let people know, the people that are closest to you, your nearest and dearest, that you're going to quit before you actually quit. Now, telling these people gives you a much better leverage against yourself when things start to get a little bit uncomfortable. When you fail, if you fail, it can be hard to face these people again. If you've told them all that you're going to go for this big quit, it can be difficult. Now, this, among other things, can lead to a fear of failure itself, which can prevent you from continuing on with your journey. It's called self-sabotage. Now, you can overcome this by first understanding why you failed, and then being laser focused on why you want to quit drinking in the first place, why you want to get alcohol out of your life. And by reminding yourself that your future regrets about not quitting in this moment can be far more painful than any negative implications that you're taking from your present failure. And number 4 is that you can pass on these failure feelings to the other people around you. Now, being in pain, even if it's that psychological wounding that you feel through failing, can bring you down. It can make you distrust yourself. It can make you distrust your capabilities. And more importantly, it can reduce your self-respect. Now, these feelings are emanated by you in everything that you do, and they can affect your relationships with others. How you react to failure, especially in front of your kids, can really impact on them. If you pass off the notion that any failure is unacceptable, then what kind of message is that passing over to them? To avoid this, never look at failure as a defeat. It's just a little bump in the road. You get over the bump and you just keep moving onwards. Number 5 is that failing can be socially defeating. We live in a culture that doesn't reward failure or defeat. We value and prize winning above everything else. Second place is for losers. That's a common theme that seems to run throughout our society. But success in life is all about failing sometimes. Think about how difficult it must have been when you were just knee-high to a grasshopper to learn how to walk. How many times did you try just to stand on your own 2 feet, even holding onto something, before you actually succeeded and you were standing there wobbly but you were doing it? How many times did you fall back on your arse before you could actually do that? Did you think you were a failure back then? The fact is that in those early years, you don't even know what a failure is until somebody else points it out to you. And it's normally when you go outside your home and you go into school and they tell you that you failed at something or you have to win. Now, like most other abstract words that we use in the English language or any language, the interpretation of failure is a mile wide. Life does reward your failures. Once you learn from your mistakes and you get up and you try again and again, you'll eventually be rewarded by success. That's the way it all works. To look at one famous example, let's take Thomas Edison. Everyone knows, invented the light bulb. And he failed over 1,000 times before he found the light bulb that actually worked, the prototype. And afterwards, Edison said that I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. So you have to understand that everybody fails at one time or another. In fact, some of the most successful people on this planet have failed more than anyone else. They are determined. They are dogged in their attempts and they never give up. That's why they're successful. They rack up their failures one after the other because they don't see these things as defeats. They see them as the steps leading to their eventual prize, to the reward at the end of the journey. Now, they're successful in spite of their failures. In fact, they're successful because they failed. Because they failed, they stood back, they learned from their mistakes, and they repeated the process with just small, minor changes over and over again until they finally succeeded. So, your failure is a part of your success. Bill Gates says that it's fine to celebrate success, but it's more important to heed the lessons of failure. Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant minds of our time, had so many setbacks in his life, and he defined success as just failure in progress. Failure is life's greatest teacher. And sometimes it's an unwanted teacher because, it can really make you feel like shit. It can make you doubt yourself. It can make you feel less confident about yourself. But the fact is that you need to learn from each failure if you want to succeed. Now, if you've gone through a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, 2 days without drinking, and you slip under the pressure and you have a drink, stand back from yourself, stand back from the problem, and examine what's happened. Don't think that this is the end of the line. Think things through. If you need to, go back to the videos on alcohol mastery until you've got your mind back on track and you know where you're going. Put your mind on the end spot There's no such thing as starting all over again. You know, you start out just where you left off. Think about all that poison that you succeeded in not putting into your body over all that time that you didn't drink. You know, for 6 months you haven't been putting drink into your body. For a week even you haven't been putting drink into your body. That's huge. And one slip doesn't take away from that. You know, you just simply learn from the slip, you get back onto the road, and you continue to have great faith in yourself that you can do this and that it's worth doing it, that the end result is going to be worth doing it. Then you will succeed. If you found anything of value in this video, could you please take the time to subscribe, to share, or to click on the like button down below if you're on YouTube. This means a lot to making the content more widely available to other people that are having some of the same difficulties that you're having, looking for the same answers. I'm Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.